everybody, welcome back to our tension video when both sides of the partnership of the bottom thread and the top thread are struggling and finding challenges and they both look wrong. What's going on with this sweet little marriage? We're going to learn how to fix these issues. We're going to be the therapist and we're going to teach them how to work well together. Okay, these are some of the kind of stitches that you will find when your tension is off. You'll get a long stitch, and we're going to show you an example of what a long stitch looks like. A long stitch is a long pause. It's kind of like a break between that partnership, and nobody's trying to work through the issues, so the needle is not going down to pull the bottom thread up. So you get a long stitch. Then the other thing is we're going to talk to you about how to fix this issue or what you need to look for to fix the issue. All right, the first thing that we need to do is check our encoders. The encoders are they're that indirect element that can cause a long stitch or a long pause between when the needle goes down to make a stitch and another long pause between it going down to the next one. So let me show you what happens. All right, I'm going to show you what it looks like between a long stitch or long pause and the encoders and how they can really affect your tension. And so I'm going to jump back and I'm going to unplug one of the encoders. And you guys might think, oh my gosh, I never unplug my encoders, but you never know what it is. And for you to understand how the machine behaves or reacts, and it's very helpful, very beneficial for you to see what's going on. So when I turn on the machine, now as I'm trying to move forward, I'm not getting any stitches. It's just barely going down. So I know something's wrong, but as I'm moving side to side, see how it's stitching? And I want to move back, man, nothing. It's like a big basting stitch, that's what it is. So that's what I'm talking about, a long stitch in between. The needle is hesitating, it's not going down to make your knot. That's a long stitch. So really important as you are quilting to see the management of your cords and to making sure they're plugged into the correct ports. Lots of times we'll think that the encoder is plugged into the correct port, but it could be plugged into the quilt motion port or this other port. So just do your due diligence and double check. Sometimes we don't even think to look at the back of our machine and see what's going on. And it could be as simple as that. Once you've plugged it in, you're good to go. All right, let's talk about skip stitches. I love skip stitches because they're so easy to fix and there's so many ways that you can fix them. All right, the first thing that I look for when I'm getting a skip stitch though, I need to understand what it is. It's when your needle is actually going down into the fabric. So what you're looking for is that little hole that the needle is making, and if it is, the needle is going down into the fabric and it is causing a skip stitch where it's not grabbing the bottom thread to make the knot and to make a stitch. It's a big, it looks like a long stitch, but it's actually what we call a skip stitch because you can see where the needle has attempted to go down to the fabric and grab that bottom thread, but it hasn't had any success. So a couple of factors that we need to look for and check on to see is that we're going to check our needle orientation. Make sure that our needle is straight and aligned correctly so it can grab the thread. Another thing that we need to check when we are getting skip stitches is the height of our foot. Changing your feet, I want you to be able to do it all the time. It's not hard, but there's just a little process that we need to do to set it correctly. And if it's up too high off of our needle plate, then that could cause where the needle isn't actually able to make it all the way down and grab that bottom thread. So know that this foot right here can play a big factor in skip stitches. So let's see if we have it adjusted correctly. You're going to use your foot height gauge here. Just keep it nice and handy so that when you need to check, you have it available. I'm going to put the needle, I'm going to unthread it for this because I don't want my threads to get caught down in between and I'm not actually quilting. So unthread your needle, put the needle in the down position to check. So we want to lower it to the lowest position, that's the position closest to the hook. So the needle is going to go down. Okay, now I put it in the down position and now my needle is placed the closest to the hook and I'm going to slide my foot height gauge underneath and man, I can just barely feel it touching my foot height gauge and I know that it's at the right height. It's as easy as that. So there's no excuses for us not to check the height of our foot and make sure it's positioned correctly for proper quilting. And then all you have to do is set it back up. Okay, now to change your foot, all you're going to do is put the needle down. I'm just going to quickly show you that. So I just want you to know that there's no excuse for you not to use a ruler foot, a couching foot, any foot that's out there that we make that you can use. Actually, you're not going to put it in the down position, sorry. Ignore me, that's my bad. I'm going to take this foot off. I always have my 3mm Allen wrench out and available because it's the one that works with this screw here. And I'm just going to take that foot off and I'll just put it back on because it's the foot that we're using. Now, I've just slid the foot on. I'm going to hold it into place, but now I'm going to put the needle in the down position and now I'm just going to finger tighten the screw and then use my Allen wrench to tighten it the rest of the way. See, faster than the NASCAR tire changers. Man, Carla is quick. All right, now I want to keep it loose and I want to slide my foot height gauge underneath it. Right here, slide it underneath. And now I can tighten it up and man, I'm good to go. Okay, you're good to go. It's as easy as that. You will get better, faster, quicker with every measurement you can take in doing what you need to do to make tension better for you, easier for you, and faster at making those adjustments. A couple of other things that you need to look for if you're getting skip stitches is adjusting the take-up rail height. It can be up too high. And I'm just going to show you an extreme measure of when it's up too high. You'll get a lot of play and bounce in your quilt layers. Okay, so we're just going to make it really extreme, okay? Don't do this at home. I do this so you don't have to. All right, notice, okay, right here how high up it is. So as I'm quilting, I'm going to get a lot of bounce and a lot of play on my quilt. And I can tell, it's obvious that this rail is up too high, but I can tell you how many new quilters, they don't understand that. They don't equate this height equals good stitches. So seeing the extreme of what happens is just more beneficial for you to understand what elements play in getting correct tension. So as I'm quilting, see how high up it's going, and it can cause skip stitches. It just doesn't look right, it doesn't feel right, and as well as this pole is up too high, so those can be factors in playing in causing you skip stitches or miss stitch, a lot of different things. So make sure that you're making these adjustments to your row. And one other factor that you can check, besides the rail height, just to make sure that you're doing everything that you can to help fix these tension problems, is making the adjustment and loosing. This tension knob can become so tight that you will start getting skip stitches, or it probably will even start breaking threads. So just check all of these out and make sure the adjustments are correct, and you'll have better tension every time you turn around because you know what to look for, and what you look for and what you see, you'll know how to make the adjustments.